Ooh. Really need to get to a barber. Hey everyone, it's Daryl from Houseplant Journal, bringing you clarity on houseplant care. And in today's video, we're going to talk about thrips. Now, if you've never dealt with thrips before, first identifying them. The adults are these very tiny black insects. They're like less than a millimeter long, very thin, and they crawl very slowly, usually on the top side of leaves, but they can also be found on the undersides of leaves. Now the larvae are smaller and even harder to see sometimes. If the leaf happens to be like a dark green, then you might be able to spot the larvae of thrips easier. What kind of damage do they cause? Thrips eat away at the leaf surface, so if you look at the edges, but sometimes even in the middle of the leaf, you might find patchy discolorations. How do you control them? The first way is physical removal. You can take a cotton swab with some soapy water and just kind of, as you see them, just pick them off. Now for tougher plants, I like to use a trick where I take a lint roller and just gently roll over the backs and fronts of leaves. And this works surprisingly well. You can see it pick up the adult little black insects, but it also picks up the harder to see larvae. Now again, you really have to do this only with very tough plants, like this monstera is tough enough to handle it. And I do this physical removal on a weekly basis. Then on a monthly basis, I'll use insecticidal soap or horticultural oil. I like to use Safer's End-All. Make sure you read and follow the mixing directions. I like to take the plant to the shower and spray all over both the front and the backs of leaves, and also all the cracks and crevices along the stem. Lastly, I will say that you need to repeat all of these things on a regular basis. So physical removal on the weekly basis and spraying on a monthly basis. Thrips can be particularly difficult to eradicate, but consistency is a key to really keeping their populations under control. Now you'll notice I didn't bring up anything about beneficial insects or systemic insecticides. And the reason is because, I live in a household with other people, and sometimes it might be difficult to convince someone, hey, why don't we release a whole bunch of good insects to get rid of the bad insects? And with systemics, here in Canada, we're actually not allowed as consumers to use them. Only commercial nurseries can employ them. So I hope you found this video helpful in your fight against thrips. Let me know in the comments if you used any other methods or the ones that I mentioned and how effective they were. I'm Daryl from Houseplant Journal. Thanks for watching. Bye.